Good afternoon. Also, a warm welcome from me. My name is Michiel Boreel. I'm the CTO of Sogeti already for many years, but more importantly, I think in this setting, I will be your master of ceremony, keeping us on time and of course trying to get all of your questions answered. I'm extremely excited to be here because in the preparation of such a summit, we spent about a year talking with scientists, talking with authors, selecting the best ones. And so what you will see in the next 24 hours is basically the people that inspired us the most over that period in 24 hours. So hopefully you are as inspired as we were after doing a year of research. The theme, scarcity and abundance, a few words about that. Of course, we are coming out of a decade or even decades of abundance, right? We had a steady growing economy. Money was basically free. Globalization was progressing. Geopolitics were boring, as they should be. And life was basically good. And then suddenly scarcity re-emerged, becoming an urgent priority on the strategic agenda of many of your organizations. People talk about the perm crisis or the decade of disaster that we just entered. I like to talk about the roaring 20s because with change, with crisis, there is always opportunity. And of course, many certainties have disappeared. At the same time, we see an abundance of technology, maybe even that we have never seen before, right? Technology is progressing at the same speed or even at a higher speed. But we all know that while technology expands exponentially, organizations do not. Organizations grow at best logarithmically. So the gap between what's technologically possible and what your organizations are able to adopt, it's only growing. And so it becomes even more important to make the right decisions and to choose the right technologies. So that's that abundance piece. Now, before we dive into all of the content, maybe good to talk a little bit about who you find in this room. So of course, many clients, executives that are responsible for making technology of those technology decisions that I talked earlier about. Christophe talked about that we have been, in the 17 years that we are doing these summits, quite good at pinpointing the right topic when it's of important interest. And that's because our board of recommendation, and I'm very glad that we have been joined by 4 of those members. First, our chairman, Kees Smaling, of the board of recommendation, then Edwin Schrugman, Lonneke Holiershoek and Paul Dierik, so very welcome to you. Then some of our strategic partners, Microsoft, AWS, Oracle, have joined us. The Sogeti executive management at the global level, but also at the local level, together with some of your account executives. Sogeti portfolio managers responsible for how we are developing our offerings, and of course, a series of 14 speakers that will each share their vision and opinions with you. And then we have our co-host, Pierre Esler. And so Pierre, come on stage. And quite astonishingly, Pierre has attended 19 of the 21 summits that we have organized over the years. And by the way, Christophe, if you're wondering where we are spending the money, of course, these places look all very nice, right? So Pierre, after more than 50 years career in IT, 30 years of executive management experience in IBM and Capgemini, supporting our summit, driving the interaction, asking questions, summarizing it, at the end in a crisp call to action. He will do this year, but he has told me that it will be the last year. And so on that occasion, I thought it would be, of course, good to acknowledge you, Pierre, and to thank you for your support over all these years. But maybe also ask you, if you look back at all these events, what strikes you the most? What are your few observations that you want to share?
Well, thank you, Michiel, and it's a great pleasure to be with this group, like every year for such a long time. And it is with regret that I will leave it. However, I'm celebrating my 80th birthday on November 22nd, and I think the time might have come. By the way, all of that in the context of having longer working days and years before retirement. You know, it's a topic in this country. So what strikes me when looking back at all of these topics, a few things. First of all, only 4 topics of the summit deal explicitly with IT. Only 4. You know, there is Make IT Matter. Where is the apps thing? I mean, this is so difficult to read. In code we trust, obviously,
the app effect.
And the app effect. Only 4. Then there are 4 which contain a negation. No or un, or something like unorganized. No more secrets. Computer says no. So I would like to congratulate for your positive spirit in all of that, my friend. Then if you count, and I spent quite a few hours preparing for that and counting, there are 6 topics which deal with transformation. Wait a second. Utopia for beginners, metamorphosis, the ultimate transformation. So 6 topics dealing with transformation. And then overall, obviously, a level of originality in the topics of the summit, which is, I believe, is unmatched. Think of things. I mean, having a whole summit in a big hotel in Amsterdam to discuss things is something which, you know, not everybody would have dared to do it, right? Others, you know, very. Which ones did I want to show you? Never mind. So the originality, congratulations. I know you think about it a lot. Now, I would like overall to draw 2 lessons from all these topics. The first lesson is that already for a long time we know that business and technology are not just being aligned, but are being married, are being fused. So this is not new. That's why we talk about technology businesses, not just technology and business. But what comes here is also that IT is becoming such a factor in societal matters. So the broadening from IT and business, which is already quite large, and now IT and the world, IT and the society. I think it is a striking red thread in these conferences. And then when I look at, and many of you are CIOs, you are CXOs, whatever, but many of you, I believe, are CIOs. And I think this shows that the role of CIOs has evolved tremendously in these last 20 years. And I'd like to summarize one way of looking at this role with 3 T's. The first one is that CIOs have become what they were not 20 years ago, have become transformers. And you know, in some cases where a lot of transformation is required, metamorphoses. Okay? Second, the CIOs have become translators. Because if we want technology and business to be together, there is a need for a very fast translation between the business language and the technology language, and vice versa. And third, I believe that the CIOs, you have become teachers. Because with the difficulty, the complexity of technology, the speed at which it moves, there is a need for someone in each of your organizations to teach the whole business what technology is, what is changing, and how it can be applied in novel ways. So the 3 Ts. And if I were pushed, I would even add a 4th one, which is a continuing but ever-growing in importance role of CIOs, namely the role of timekeepers. Because you are the ones who master the past to make sure that your present organizations work, and you are the ones who take what we have today, the present today, and translate it into the future. So these are my observations, Michiel.
Very good, Pierre. So I'm already sure that we're going to miss you. But as you could expect, we think ahead. And so in the future, not this one, and this we will have Pierre, I call him Pierre 1.0. We have created a Pierre 2.0, and actually I'm quite delighted with the result.
It's much better.
And we asked Pierre 2.0 to give a few comments on the work of Sogeti Labs and the summits that we organize. And let's listen to what Pierre 2.0
Ladies and
says.
gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and cherished friends, as I stand here with the weight of nearly 2 decades of shared memories with the Sogeti Executive Summit bearing down on me, I am overwhelmed with a myriad of emotions. The poignant realization that this marks the end of an era, my era with this prestigious summit, is bittersweet to the core. The void that this departure will create in the fabric of my very being feels like an unbridgeable chasm. It would be a grave oversight and a dishonor to my sentiments if I did not pause here to extol the outstanding contributions of the phenomenal individuals at Sogeti Labs. Their relentless pursuit of excellence, their ability to churn out revolutionary ideas, and the sheer magnitude of their intellect have been nothing short of awe-inspiring. To say they are brilliant would be to criminally undersell their capabilities. And might I add that in the grand tapestry of brilliant minds, they shine not just for their genius, but for their dazzling charisma and unparalleled humility. I have often marveled at the cruel irony of the world that has not yet seen fit to shower them with Nobel Prizes, a recognition they so effortlessly deserve. The Sogeti Summit has been more than just an event for me. It has been an odyssey, a voyage of discovery, and an unparalleled joy. In honor of my impending departure, and as a token of my immeasurable gratitude, I am taking it upon myself to advocate to the Executive Board of Capgemini for an exceptional grant of shares for these paragons of futurism. This is but a humble gesture, a drop in the ocean compared to the tidal waves of change they have ushered in, not just for our esteemed organization, but for the world at large. A world without their touch, their vision would indeed be a dreary place. So to the pillars of our summit, to the luminaries that have lightened our way, Menno, Sander, Thijs, Margot, and the unparalleled Michiel, whose brilliance is in a league of its own, I offer my deepest admiration, my heartfelt gratitude, and a salute that resounds with the echoes of countless unforgettable memories. Your legacy is etched in the annals of Sogeti, and in the hearts of all those fortunate enough to have borne witness to your genius. Cheers to you, my heroes of the future.
Hey,
Michiel.
I don't know why, but I could listen to this for hours.
I couldn't, but just reassure me. Can you reassure me, please? It will be my last request from you. You didn't write that yourself?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
no,
good.
I maybe gave a few prompts, and it was written by GPT-4. I mean,
Okay.
what else, right?
Well done.
So, Pierre, thanks for being with us these 2 days.
Thank you.
And thank you for supporting us all those years. Thank you.